All right, so I'm going to demonstrate tying a rainbow swirl. Well, I'm going to tie the swirl and Russell's going to dye it. So I got the fabric and I grab it in the center, get a good little pinch on it and start twisting and twisting. You see I got a good little center there. Got to get to it and I'm twisting and I want to keep it nice and flat. I want to keep it nice and tight and flat. This is one of the easier ones and one that's more common. You see that all over. A lot of people see this and they know how to tie it, but they can't figure out how to dye it to get the colors just right. Get my rubber bands. Got to get just the right size rubber band. And that is how you tie a swirl.
All right, the dye doctor's in now. Just to get started, we want to talk about the colors. We start off with about 2 or 3 of different shades of primary colors, and then we hand mix each color from those colors. So we hand mix our own orange, our own red, our own yellows, greens, blues, that's all hand mixed. And that's the most important thing to it, is to get the right tint, the right shading that you like. Now when I'm ready to dye a piece, I always try to start with the lightest color and then go dark, but there's really no wrong way to do it. You can do it any way you want to, it's just my method that I go from. So I always, when I start with a yellow. Now the whole trick is to get the right amount of dye, not too much and not too little. More on the outside, less on the inside. And as we go from our primary to our secondary color, which, you know, traditional tie-dye would mix on a shirt and allow the two primaries to mix and make your secondary. I like to give it a little help myself with my special little orange. We're going to blend it in and try to get a little overlap between the orange and red to allow it to mix its own color on the shirt. Because the whole deal is to allow it to do what it's going to do on its own, to mingle inside the design. And now we're going to go back to a secondary color. Haven't done my primary red, and I always like to give it a little twist so I get a better angle. You don't want to overdo it with the secondary colors because you want them to kind of mix on their own. So my primary, which is a hand-mixed turquoise that I really like. I go back over and put another green, that way I get 2 shades of green. And now we're going on with another secondary, primary, secondary, primary, secondary. And the one color that is not going to penetrate is always the purple. Does not penetrate. It's thicker. It's the thickest color. And so it tends to clog up the pores in the fabric, so you got to dig it out. Okay, and now that you have all of your colors on there, I always like to go with a shade color over, just to add to the depth. And again, it's going to change the color of the turquoise on the shirt. Before you make your flip. You want to give it a rub down. It's the blending, like if you were doing a pencil work, you want to blend your work, right? So you blend all your colors together and then you're ready for the flip. Do your flip, this is the whole trick right here, is that I never put the same color on top of the same color. So where I had my orange at, I will come back with fuchsia. Where I had my yellow at, I will come back with my turquoise. Where I have my purple at, I come back with my turquoise. And then you go with your contrast, which is going to be your strongest phase 3 color, your darkest color, on the white section of the back. It's cobalt blue. Going back. Everything gets a little bit in the crucial part. Again, like you were doing a pencil drawing, is your blending. You don't want to squeeze too much, you want to squeeze just right. Then always go back and check for white. And then I flip it, because you don't want it upside down, because you'll get too much dark color will bleed into the yellow. Gravity will pull it down. Now gravity's pulling the yellow into the dark overnight. The doctor is now out. That's it, and then we'll hang dry it. And we do all our stuff solar dried as much as we can, to save energy. We try to dry it like, 3/4 of the way dry on a line, and just put it in a dryer to size it. Saves a lot of energy.
And once it's done, ta-da!